What's up, Baltimore? What's the deal? It's your man Ryan the Lion, and we have a very, very special treat in store for you today. We are celebrating Family League of Baltimore's 2021 annual meeting and 30th anniversary celebration, all presented by PNC Bank. And we have a little bit of everything on tap this afternoon as we celebrate Family League's work, its partners, and its future with this virtual special. Joining me now is President and CEO of Family League of Baltimore, Damon Millard. Damon, how are you?
Doing well, brother Ryan. So good to see you, sir. How are you?
Yes, doing well, doing well. Glad to have you. And thank you for having me be a part of this celebration. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, and thank you for joining us. And I just have to say, please bear with me because this is something that's completely new for us at Family League here. Typically, for our annual meeting and this is our 30-year anniversary, as you stated. And typically, we like to engage our partners firsthand and see our friends.
Right.
And we have a very true engagement set of cultures and personality within our organization. So being able to be in a virtual setting is completely new for us. So thank you to yourself as well as the Urban One family for your support in navigating us through this.
So coming up, we have a special guest that's going to be joining us, right? You know
We do.
somebody pretty cool in this city. They're pretty
Well, well,
big
we
too.
we have a lot of special guests,
Yes.
and I think one of the great things is that one, we recognize that in the midst of COVID, we had to switch to this virtual environment. Typically, when we do our annual meetings, we normally host it at one of the wonderful and most beautiful gyms within the city of Baltimore. And typically, folks will always ask us, "How'd you pick that place? How'd you find this place?"
All right.
So this is definitely new for us. But from that standpoint, with our guests that we have, main thing that remains constant is our gratitude to our partners. And we have heroes that are out there who are doing work each and every single day, supporting children, youth, and families within the city of Baltimore. And that has not changed. And so we live with that spirit to respect them and also to thank them for all the great work that they do. But the next guest that we have that's coming up right now is actually an honoree in their former role is serving in the Baltimore City Council from Family League as a champion of change, really promoting and supporting the work of racial equity and diversity within the city of Baltimore. And we had a chance to award Councilman Brandon Scott, now Mayor Brandon Scott. It is our great and distinct honor to recognize him, and also seeing in terms of the work that he's been moving the work from the fourth floor in City Hall to now to the second floor as mayor of the city of Baltimore. So with that being said, I definitely would like to turn it over to the mayor of the city of Baltimore, Mayor Brandon Scott.
Peace, Baltimore. It's Mayor Brandon Scott. Welcome to the Family League of Baltimore's 30th anniversary celebration and annual meeting. Since '91, Family League has been a trusted partner in our work to improve the lives of our children and families across our city. In honor of this momentous occasion, I want to recognize all the amazing things that Family League has been doing for our residents. They fund paraprofessional home visits for pregnant women and postpartum women as a part of our Be More for Healthy Babies initiative, helping us tackle infant mortality and building healthy communities throughout Baltimore. Not only that, these programs also enhance a child's readiness for kindergarten and connect clients to resources that improve the quality of life of mothers after children are born. Family League is also the driving force behind community schools and out-of-school time to support student success by creating positive and safe learning environments for our young people. They collaborated with Rec and Parks to bring community-informed, culturally competent programming to more than 40 sites across our city. When schools were closed due to the pandemic, the need for quality care placed a massive burden on our residents. Family League partnered with Rec and Parks to disperse more than $3 million in grant funds to help stabilize the child care industry. Every team within Family League has been actively involved in helping the city respond to the needs of Baltimoreans as we navigate this pandemic in one of the most difficult times in our history. From the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Definitely. Thank you to our Mayor Brandon Scott. And I think that is absolutely awesome to have someone in that position, in that role, know about this community, what it needs, and be able to support an organization like this. That is absolutely tremendous. So as we continue with our 30th anniversary celebration of the Family League. We'd like to get some staff thank yous right about now. We'd love to hear from some staff. Can we do that?
Hey everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Tiffany Jones. I am the program manager of Expanded Youth Opportunities. And I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I am forever grateful for every person and program that is under my portfolio, under the Expanded Youth portfolio. And those are my heavy hitters. I'm talking about my EYP folks that are operating in community-based settings and organizations. Those are my pre-K OST people who are operating in a virtual setting that are engaging students that are in pre-K and their families, as well as my Recs and Parks people. Shout out to you guys. You guys are in the ground and hitting the ground running. I just want to say thank you for your diligence, for your tenacity, for your dedication, for your honesty, for your willingness to keep going, that upbeat enthusiasm. Thank you so much for everything that it is that you've done. But most importantly, thank you for your service.
You have served the youth and the families of Baltimore in such a powerful way that all I can say is thank you. And wow, because even when I've had hard moments throughout this pandemic, because life has shown up for me, each of my funded partners have made and held space for me, protected spaces that let me know I wasn't alone in the work and their work, and they saw me in supporting them in their work. And so I just, from my heart, want to say thank you. I appreciate you. I will continue to work hard and endeavor to support your efforts as you serve the children and families of Baltimore. Thank you.
Hello, I am LaTanya Rush, the local care team manager for the local care team of Baltimore City. And I want to take this moment to say thank you so much for showing up each and every Tuesday, for reviewing the cases and giving those recommendations to our youth and families in need in our community. It has been a privilege to support you in this work. We know that it has been challenging during the pandemic, but you were dedicated, you were committed, and you maintain a level of expertise in giving those recommendations and helping our youth stay in our city by recommending that they receive support within our communities and in mental health. I want to take this moment to say thank you so much for showing up on Zoom. Thank you so much for encouraging our parents and our guardians. And thank you so much for being there for our agencies and our organizations that need our help each and every month.
My partners are incredible and passionate, and I'm honored that they allow me even a sliver of ability to support the work that they do. I would want to say thank you and how grateful and honored I am to work with such incredibly dynamic and passionate individuals in the early childhood space. Everyone that I work with comes to this table focused on families and focused on communities and wanting to make sure that families and communities have the opportunities and resources and support that they need. And none of it is about us. It's all about our community.
Over the last year, we have had so many challenges as a community, and our sites have been so wonderful in making sure that as many kids as possible can get meals, which is just so important because, you know, there's so much chaos all over the city right now. That the last thing anybody should worry about is where they're going to get their next meal. And so I think that the difference that our sites and our programs have made in the lives of so many kids in Baltimore City, I mean, it's just life-changing.
I appreciate the work that they put in the community, because over the last year during this pandemic, some of our providers have faced some very challenging challenges throughout this pandemic, with loss of income and loss of kids and just being able to stay afloat. So I appreciate everything that you do in feeding and educating these kids all at the same time. We know it's a hard job, but I appreciate everything that you do.
Partners, you are our unsung heroes. Thanks for all you do to support our youth, our families, our schools, our communities. Your innovation, your dedication, your hard work make all the difference to so many across Baltimore City. Thanks for all you do.
I would say thank you for the work, and not just over the past year and a half where it's been different and hard, but our community schools and OST partners know that this work is about relationships, and developing relationships with students and families and schools and partners is key to this work. And it has kept us going through this year and a half. Though our relationships look different and we haven't been able to gather together in spaces, knowing the relationships that we've developed with partners over time and the work that they're doing has really motivated us to keep the work going.
Thank you for stepping in when no one else could. Thank you for continuing the process. Thank you for being real and honest about what your needs were. And thank you for working with us. Without you, there is no us.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you to the Interagency Initiatives Portfolio Partners. Thank you. You know, I see you as the flight team. And so I just want to say thank you from my heart.
From the bottom of my heart, LaTanya Rush would like to say thank you to the local care team of Baltimore City.
I want to thank the Early Childhood Advisory Council, especially the co-chairs and the co-leads who work so hard to make sure that children come to school prepared and ready to learn. I want to thank my HCAM and Judy Center partners in the care coordination work that have been truly remarkable to work with throughout this pandemic. I want to thank Park Heights Renaissance and Hippie, specifically Miss Angela, who is always willing to collaborate and to make things work for families and to invite me into the work that they're doing. I am truly grateful that you guys allow me to sit in this space with you.
Thank you so much for all of your hard work over the last couple of years in making sure that all of these kids can have full tummies and have nutritious food.
I want to give a very sincere thank you to all of my providers for a wonderful job that you do in educating and feeding these babies. Kudos for everything.
Thank you so much to all the funders, community partners, stakeholders, Family League leadership, and my amazing team who supported Baltimore during these unprecedented times. We appreciate you.
As Family League comes to their 30th year, we just want to say thank you for all of the work that you've done, the hard work, the rewarding work that you all have put into Baltimore, its families, communities, and schools. Without you all, we couldn't do this. And though we may not see the change every day, we know that the change is happening. So thank you all for all of the work that you do.
All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Ramsey Harris with PNC Bank. I'm the Vice President and Community Development Market Executive here in the Greater Maryland, Greater Baltimore region. I'd like to say tonight that PNC Bank is proud to present Family League of Baltimore's 2021 annual meeting and 30th anniversary celebration. We are truly a proud supporter of the Family League and its mission and our shared vision of investing in Baltimore's most vulnerable communities to improve the lives of children and families. At PNC, we believe that being a part of the community is more than just about our physical location, but we really take pride in how we strengthen and serve our communities. And these relationships really are at the heart of our business model. We recognize that when our communities prosper and thrive, so does PNC, which is why we are so very proud tonight to continue to support the Family League of Baltimore and the work that you're doing to really make an impact and empower and enrich the lives of children and families all throughout the city. So on behalf of myself, our regional president, Laura Gamble, and all of my Greater Maryland and Greater Baltimore colleagues and fellow teammates in the region, again, we extend a hearty congratulations to the Family League of Baltimore, and we wish you a very happy anniversary. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Asia Doswell, and I am the Clinical Program Strategist for Keys and Powers. Keys stands for Keep Encouraging Youth to Succeed, and that is what our mission and our drive has been since our doors opened for our nonprofit in 2017. Since our conception, we've been able to focus primarily on transitional age youth, about 14, 15, over 24, and since then has been able to just provide a multitude of needed services, working on family bonding and community engagement. Family League has been a very pivotal point in the changes for Baltimore families because they understand the needs and they understand the process from a grassroots perspective. They've been able to bring in collaborative efforts, be able to identify the needs, and then put us in the places to meet the financial responsibilities and secure the bag, I like to say. The staff is fun, engaging, very welcoming, easy to work with. Small shout out to Renette Latanya, who are my portfolio people, and Mr. Clifton, we love y'all. They've been my portfolio partners for the last 2 or 3 years, and it's more like a family versus a funder-fundee type of relationship. I enjoy the fact that it isn't just one area of support, it's multiple, whether it's program developing, identifying other community partners, or just being part of a larger system that is serving the families of Baltimore City.
I am Dan Carpenter with Baltimore City Recreation and Parks, and we were a participant in the Family League's grant program this year, and we received a grant award for $1 million, and the title of the project was Expanding Youth Programs. In the program, we had 43 sites, so it was a tremendous undertaking. But whenever you do something that broad of a scope, you've got this great chance to make wonderful impact in the community. So within those 43 sites, the majority of our programs happen through the end of June, through the end of the grant period to September 30th. And we actually offered 192 different sessions of activities. As part of this project, we signed 62 different agreements with local Baltimore area recreation providers to present different types of programs in our rec centers. And these programs were to expand, just like the title of the grant says, Expanding Youth Programming. This was to expand on what we were already doing as a team. So we maintained our programs that we've always done, utilizing our staff of Baltimore Rec and Parks, but we were able to use this money to bring in specialized instructors to complement what we were already doing here to enhance the experience. Everything from mentorship programs to violence reduction programs, conflict resolution, dance, health and wellness, so many different kinds of innovative activities that we would have never thought about being able to offer without this grant opportunity.
My name is Katrina Springer. I am the Community School Coordinator at Waverly Elementary Middle School for the Y Central Maryland. The work that I do here is provide various resources for both the community and the school. Those resources also include our OST program here at Waverly Elementary Middle School for our students grades 3 through 5, which we absolutely adore. We offer academic support and tutoring through various partnerships. We offer various enrichment activities for our students as well. We also give them a voice about what activities they want to see and what they want to do. And we try to bring that to reality for them. The professional development that Family League offers allows us to network across Maryland with other professionals that I like to believe that I would otherwise would not have a chance to come across or to meet. It also actually helped me provide other resources that I may need, but did not have the knowledge of receiving through our professional development. My favorite part of it is actually the networking. I'm kind of an extrovert introvert. So this position actually forces me to be a little bit more sociable and in a capacity that's a little outside of my comfort zone that I've gotten a little bit more comfortable with. So it also pushes me to be better at my job and my position because the resources that our family community needs, I can't get it without that networking. I wouldn't have an avenue or begin to know where to look without the networking that the Family League has provided. And even with the networking, the workshops that they provide also helps me to become knowledgeable and getting those resources for our communities and for our schools. Because often my principal will say, hey, Katrina, can you make magic happen? Can we have this person show up and do a financial literacy workshop? Can we do a parenting workshop? And that's where Family League steps in, because anytime I say, hey, Amy, I need access to X, Y, and Z, here you go. Or because of the workshops, I now have an avenue to venture to say, hey, I can actually do that because of this workshop, I learned now how to do that.
That's great. That is absolutely great. My name is Terris King. Have the privilege of serving as the chair of the board for Family League for the past several years. This has been already a great celebration of our anniversary and our partnerships and our funders. We would like to thank you all for being a part of this celebration. And normally tonight there would be a big old party, and people would be having a great time gathered together. But I tell you, it has been wonderful to hear from many of our partners, and one of the words used continuously has been impact, and that's one of the issues that we've really focused on uh, during these unparalleled times. We've really focused on the issue of what impact, despite the fact that we're not seeing people face to face often, can we continue to have as an organization. I'd like to thank the board members who serve tirelessly with me. Many of them are connected tonight and on board. I just like to at least say a word just to thank them by name. Thank you, Dr. Hathaway, Brandy Oxdale, Dr. Sharstein. We just appreciate you. Mary Beth Haller, Nancy Blackwell, you know how much I appreciate your help. Tina Hike Hubbard, Faith Leach, Solo Agarante, and Nicole Earl, of course. We thank all of you. Most of all, I want to go back to thank Ramsey. Thank you for exercising your corporate influence to really, really promote Family League within PNC. And we appreciate what you've done for us tonight. And we thank you for your efforts. But I want to go a step further. There's one more thank you that I would like to give. And it's to the leadership team that has really undergirded Demaune as our CEO during this year. I want to by name thank, because to me and the years that I've served on this board, this is one of the absolute strongest leadership teams that we've had. The stability, the focus, the dedication, and the competence of people like Tawana Taylor, our Chief Operating Officer, Kalila Slater Harrington, our Chief Program Officer, Jonathan Carter, all about strategy and operations as our Senior Director of that and compliance. Dara Gray, here it is again, Director of Impact, and Kiana Thompson. Boy, our financial operation has not been during my tenure any more sturdy than it has been, and focus, just excellence, is the one word that can be used for this leadership team. You have done, yes, our partners, we thank you. Yes, our funders, we give you tremendous applause. But to this leadership team, I want to, and on behalf of the board, give you just a tremendous, tremendous thank you. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, gentlemen. You have knocked it out of the park, and I appreciate your efforts. Yes, we look forward to our future, but I look back on the ups and downs that Family League has had. We've never been so centered in terms of understanding community needs. Never have we had stronger partners, but most important, never have we had such tremendous leadership. And as we look forward, we also look back. And we look back with grateful hearts, actually, about some of the things that we have experienced, come through, and the promise that is yet ahead of us. So I appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you for being with us tonight.
I am Charmaine Turner, and I am the Vice President of Youth Development Operations with the Y in Central Maryland, where we offer programming for young people, well, really for families throughout Central Maryland. My specific portfolio, which is in alignment with the larger organization's goals around youth development, social responsibility, as well as health and wellness. But in my specific portfolio, we provide services and resources through community schools, through OST programming, youth well-being, and through mentoring, serving all counties in Central Maryland. We had a wonderful and just an awesome opportunity to serve young people last year. And again, this year, we received a $400,000 investment, almost $400,000 investment from the Family League of Baltimore City. And it was to provide additional resources and deepen the work that we were already doing in 4 of our community schools. And we already had an existing program in these schools called Next Generation Scholars. And so what we did was leverage this funding to bring in additional students into that program, as well as deepen what we were already doing. And what that looked like was being able to provide college access to young people, or college access services, should I say, to young people. We were able to address workforce development because we were able to provide stipends to young people for not only their participation, but for their actual work experiences that they were getting.
Marshall Clark, I'm the Executive Director of Access Art. We're a community arts center based in Morrill Park, and we create spaces for kids to explore their creativity. That's our main function. We have after-school programs across the city and in Morrill Park. We support families in the communities we work more holistically to try to get them services and resources and try to empower them to be change makers in their communities. Access Art and Family League have been partners for many, many years. I think probably over 10 years of just OST funding. And then we've been part of the community school strategy for at least 8 years, I think. So when we became part of the community school strategy, I think it was a game changer because we became part of a larger community in the school and extended our reach into the school to actually support parents and kids better. You know, we are offering mostly after school programs in most schools that have a community school coordinator. And that, for the most part, is funded by the Family League. And that's been super important to build those relationships with staff with youth, with parents. And even though we're not the lead agency in all these other communities, that strategy that we're all a part of and that we all communicate about and we all have the same goals has really supported all the other programs that we have going as well.
I'm Tiffany Jones. I am Director of Programming and Equity Initiatives at Access Art. And our program plays a huge role in Baltimore City in serving our youth and helping them understand the impact that they can have by being the best versions of themselves. So we look at youth learning how to express themselves creatively through the arts, visual art specifically, but also how could that inform their lives to be leaders? Family League has played a big part in helping us to understand youth development and helping us to have the support and services that we need in order to have our our staff grow to become their best selves and offer that to our youth. And also it has given us an opportunity to be in communities in which might not have access to the arts that we can offer. And we are able to help create a wraparound service following the community school strategy and methods, and really make an impact on the youth and families that we serve.
I work for Drum Healthy Families of America. That's the Druid Mondawmin area in Baltimore City, West Baltimore City. And that program has been in existence for 20 years, a little over 20, I guess, at this point, to provide maternal health. It's a maternal health program. We work with the whole family. So we provide intense services, for the target child. But we do provide services for all of the children in the home and for the family. So I have a team of 4 that I supervise, and they do just unbelievably great work in the home. Family League was able to get some money, and the money is called it's a housing stipend. It is a block of money that is designed to help families basically have stable housing in place, and whatever the money is needed for that contributes to their ability to stay stably housed and safe. There's a lot of housing that is not safe, not affordable, and so it's not stable. And the money that we've been given from Family League for families is directly impacting those things. If I want to drive home one point, it is that the money that Family League has afforded our families every month since January has been life altering. It's been life altering. It's the kind of help that folk have been screaming about, wanting and needing for a very long time. And for Family League to be able to provide that is just amazing.
Thank you very much to Dr. King for his words earlier, and definitely thank you for those partner spotlights right there. Family League's funded partners are its link to Baltimore through financial investment, professional development, and delivery of best practices. Family League strives to create an ecosystem that enables community-based, community-led organizations help children and families in Baltimore reach their full potential. Here are just a few of the organizations that are working with the Family League to make a difference in our city. So we thank you again for those partners and all they do. If you are just joining us, we are celebrating the Family League of Baltimore's 2021 annual meeting and 30th anniversary celebration. But before we move forward in the program, we cannot forget the partners, friends, and loved ones we lost over the last 19 months, from community titans like Bishop Douglas Miles to everyday heroes, both in our communities and in our homes. Family League honors life and legacy of those who have gone with a moment of silence and a commitment to continue the valuable work we've done together. Can we have a moment of silence? Thank you. Now let's move on to Damon Millard.
Hey there, Ryan. Thank you so
What's up,
much.
Damon?
Powerful.
Very
Say
powerful,
wow.
man.
Wow. Special shout out to my board chair, Reverend Dr. Terris King, and just in terms of the whole board and the level of support as well as guidance that they provide us. I think, to a degree that each week that we stay in constant contact, he keeps not only us on track, but holds us accountable for the work, but always at the core of it, make sure that our focus is on community and that we do not take our eye off of that ball. And I just want to thank him for his guidance and as well as his leadership to put us in the space to be able to do the things that we do on a daily basis. And of course, to our partners, they're the heroes. And in fiscal year 21, Ryan, do you know that we invested $22.8 million within the fiscal year to 94 partners total? So unfortunately, we were only able to showcase just a few who do phenomenal work, but there are others out there who we weren't able to lift up as a part of today's program, but really just toil in the vineyards in terms of supporting children, youth, and families, and they don't gravitate towards any type of attention and recognition. They just focus and do the work. So I just want to make sure that I lifted that up as well.
Absolutely.
So now we're in a special part of our program that I always find extremely exciting. But the time of, I guess, in terms of where we are today and just kind of some of the themes that we hear that's consistent has been game-changing. I think you heard that directly from some of our partners. You not only saw it, but you also felt it because of their commitment and passion. And the same thing in terms of commitment and passion is going to, in terms of who we're recognizing for this year, is our recipient of our Community Partnership Award. We went really kind of in 2019 to really establish laying the foundation for strategic planning, Ryan. And each year, I would say probably during the track of probably you're looking at 3 to 4 year windows, our peers across the state that serve in the same capacity as we do for the city of Baltimore have to make sure that you keep your fingers on the pulse in terms of the need within your respective jurisdictions. So that's the same thing in Baltimore County, Prince George's, Montgomery, Eastern Shore, and here in Baltimore. The challenge has always been it's easy to pull up the data and the quantifiable numbers. That's not hard. We see it every day in terms of on the news and the various media outlets. We read it in the newspaper. But more importantly, being able to gather community voice and to hear directly from them. We're faced with an opportunity to move forward in going and establishing a community health needs assessment. And so with that process, we made an intentional outreach to, go figure, the largest urban research institution within the state of Maryland that's within our backyard, that in our 30-year history that we've never partnered with.
Wow.
So we reached out, we had some conversations, and the dean of the School of Community Health and Policy, I could see, was really trying to see and test us out, to see if we were sincere, to see if we were genuine with our motivations as a part of this work. And so I think she don't really recognize that we recognize this, but she invited us to speak to her class, her master's and doctoral students, and talk about the work that we do, and also the careers that are in the space of our work, and evening classes, but the work does not stop, and it isn't a 9-to-5 check in or check out. But with that, we were able to really have a solid relationship with Morgan State University and looking at a community health needs assessment that was based in the social determinants of health. Not just looking at the problems and seeing them today and saying why, but going back to the root causes and looking at the historical context of the inequities that we see within the systems, because I believe there are no broken people, there are broken systems. And so to have someone who understands that concept, but also to able to partner with you to shift the paradigm in our thinking, was just refreshing. And so Dean Kimberly Sydnor ran with it. And really, when you're looking at it from a standpoint, if you're talking about the pockets of concentrated poverty within the city of Baltimore, and you put an overlay of that map, it reflects that of a butterfly. Northeast Baltimore, Northwest Baltimore, Southeast, Southwest. That's what it looks like. And so partnering with the school as well as the students who were participating as a part of that project were deployed in these respective communities and having conversations directly with parents, with students, with caregivers, to really be able to provide that level of insightful input. And so with that type of leadership, it would be remiss if we did not take the opportunity to honor none other than Dean Dr. Kimberly Sydnor for all of her great work. Talk about somebody who's a quiet giant. She is. So that's why I believe in not calling people out, but calling them in. So I'm calling you in, Dean. I'm calling you in.
Come on in here.
And want to wish you congratulations on this award, and it's so deserving of it. But I just really appreciate you and your quiet leadership, and also to note that she's also the new head of the Center for Health Equity for the work that is being done at Morgan. So again, this is before social determinants in health equity became the flavor of the month. But being a trailblazer in that space. So, Dean, I've said enough. The floor is yours.
Yes, you have said enough, Damon Millard. Well, wow, let me first say thank you to the Family League of Baltimore, all teams and partners. I was really shocked, surprised, and honored by this award. I really feel like it's more of an investment or a down payment to make sure that the work that we've committed to will continue and go forward. In some ways, I feel really guilty because it's Damon's vision for Family League that prompted that community health needs assessment, that had it focus on equity as a primary lens to which to look through. And the organization has now taken this and begun to transform what it does. It was already doing great, but I have to say, and Demaune did not pay me to say this, that under his leadership, there has been a shift. I've known Family League for over 20 years as part of Demaune Healthy Families, and I know for sure that he has made a difference. I want to personally thank you, Demaune, for this honor and this privilege. I also just want to say to the entire team, you are all marvelous. I want to echo your board chair's comments about who is really doing the work, who was making these changes. So between your organization and all the partner organizations and network, and we're proud to be one of those, this is really where the action is, and you all are delivering big time. Not for yourselves, and that's the important thing. It's not about just Family League. It is about children and families and communities and Baltimore City. This is our shared passion. This is our shared commitment. This is what brings us all together at this moment in time. I am missing the music, the food, and the fellowship, but the work is so much more important than any celebration could ever be. And you did that this year in your 30th year. And so I honor you and thank you. It is an honor, again, a privilege, and I humbly accept on behalf of the School of Community Health and Policy and all our teams. And for everybody out there, just know that this is our commitment, that we will keep going, keep working, and keep being one of the critical partners, we hope, with the Family League of Baltimore, its teams, partners, and Baltimore City at large. So again, I thank you once, as they say in church. I thank you twice. I'm a preacher's daughter. I thank you 3 times. For everyone out there, please have a good and safe rest of the evening, and make sure everybody stays COVID safe. I have to get that out there because I'm public health. So just make sure we're also continuing to message and take care of each other in these very difficult times. Thank you so much.
That is awesome. Thank you very much to Kim Sydnor. That is amazing right there. Demaune, you talk about trailblazer, man. Wow.
Indeed.
Man.
Indeed. And, and again, just being able to have that level of silent power, you feel it from Dean Sydnor. Same way with our board chair, Dr. King, as well as the other members of our board. But we put ourselves in a place where we're able to have very honest, and what my staff would like to know that I always like to say, courageous conversations. because you're not going to really get yourself in a space to do anything different unless you're really challenging yourself to be able to have that courage and to have that level of direct candor and dialogue. So definitely really appreciate Dean Sydnor for her leadership, as well as to our board of directors as well. But really, I just want to kind of go into with the foundation that the Community Health Needs Assessment really laid down for us. So in 2020 to 2021, obviously this was a time introspection in which, in the I guess the period of March 13th, I remember it clearly in 2020, that we had to shift into a virtual and remote work environment. And really, in terms of what you heard earlier, we are about an engaging personality, an engaging culture. Anytime you would walk through our doors, you would see, in terms of a host of partners from all across the city, sometimes even across the state, that we would host and convene a number of trainings on a whole multitude and host of subjects. And so to have that type of a change for us definitely was impactful too, in terms of our organizational culture. But the resilience of our team to recognize that the work had to go on and that we had to move forward and press on was quite frankly what really sounded out in persevering overall. So with that, we were really planning to do strategic planning anyway in 2020. But it really just gave us an opportunity to roll up our sleeves, get up under the hood, and look at the way that we do our work, but also utilize the Community Health Needs Assessment, and to really take in exactly what the community was saying about us without us being in the room. And again, the level of critique was constructive, but more importantly, it was real in terms of how we would channel our support and our investments. And so with that, we framed kind of our strategic planning to be Transformation 2020. So not just typical strategic planning language that folks would tweak a few words, make some changes to the date and the mission and vision statement, but really getting to the place in terms of, one, changing our mindset as an organization, and more importantly, how do we approach our work by using data, by using obviously the support of community voice as a solution to dismantle systemic barriers that have existed and that limit the potential and also the possibilities for children, families, and communities within the city of Baltimore. That is our mission. And so being able to have a focus specifically on that is our approach in terms of everything within the cradle to career continuum, for babies being born healthy, entering school ready to learn, being successful in school, and then obviously with the hope of completing their education in high school, whether they want to matriculate in terms of higher ed and going on to college, but more importantly, going into the workforce and receiving a family supporting income. Those things are all critical. But then also we can't overlook the issues in terms of food insecurity. And you also heard members of our team who also support that work in removing some of the barriers as it relates to access to healthy and nutritious meals. The issue as it relates to food sovereignty and food deserts in healthy food areas is a real challenge within the city of Baltimore. I was raised by a beautiful woman who, after a hard day's work, had to go to another jurisdiction in order to do grocery shopping for her family. And so with that, her story is no different than a lot of other mothers and a lot of other heads of households that they have to do on a daily basis. We use these stories, we use that voice, we use that lived experience to really shape our focus in terms of how do we look at that in terms of changing policy? How do we look at that in terms of, one, leveraging federal, state, local dollars, public dollars, as well as philanthropic supports as well. We utilize that, and that's been very beneficial for us as a part of our strategic plan. With those courageous conversations, we've now established a North Star, and that is a part of our bold goal, and that is for the work of Family League to be powered by and in partnership with community to address inequities in education, health, and an economic opportunity through an anti-racist lens that positive outcomes can be a reality for all Baltimoreans. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. No one should be left out. And the beauty of it is that we do have a mayor that is solely focused on that as a priority, and not looking at that from a standpoint in terms of one agency is responsible for one part of the work, another agency is responsible for another side because of your budget or your programs, but looking at that of what that does across the respective landscape. And that's what we're getting ourselves in the space to do, eliminating those silos and truly looking at integrated service delivery across all the agencies that we work with. I think Board Chair King touched on it. We have members who serve on our board as ex officio members who represent family serving and human service agencies. We salute them. They do a phenomenal job. There's nothing harder than dealing with issues as it relates to bureaucracy and red tape. And we have great board members and leaders who help us navigate those challenges to address those issues within the system. So I salute them for the work that we do, but more importantly, looking forward to the work that lies ahead for us in terms of support for Baltimore's children, youth, and families. We also had a chance to look at the aspects in terms of housing stability. $1.35 million providing support for families, and especially through our home visiting, which is an evidence-based home visiting program. Our home instruction for preschool youngsters program, specifically focused in the Park Heights area, that we're now looking at expanding into other parts of Baltimore, including Northeast Baltimore. These are things that we are extremely excited about. Also offering opportunities for high school youngsters after school to receive a stipend with a specific focus in terms of a work-based learning and career learning track. These, again, once again, ladies and gentlemen, are game-changing moments. And so we are really just putting ourselves in a space to be just like our mayor and have a posture where we're leaning in and we're leaning forward, not being reactionary where we're on our heels. I think we've seen enough of that in terms of the challenges that our city, that our communities have faced over the decades, and really in terms of being in a position where we're able to be proactive, but more importantly, using the evidence, using the data, but more importantly, helping with community voice to be the leaders that is so deserving in terms of the power that's needed. So I just wanted to close out by just saying thank you to my team. I know the board chair had already touched base on that, but I would be remiss if I did not recognize, as we had a year of tremendous challenge and loss, I had to say goodbye to my mother this year, and just to have a very solid team to step into place, that we built a level of chemistry that we did not miss a beat during that entire time. And so throughout the organization, we don't necessarily just consider our leadership team or our senior managers to be leaders, whether you sit at the front desk, open mail, cut the checks, do the data and evaluation and collection. You are a leader within this team. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you, and I appreciate you so much. And again, looking forward to what we have on the horizon, and obviously for the years to come. And here's to the next 30 years for this organization and also for the city of Baltimore. Thank you.
Definitely want to say thank you to you, Demaune. Thank you for your leadership, and definitely thank you for the league for everything they've done for Baltimore and the community as well, changing people's lives. It's absolutely amazing. And with that, we've come to the end of the Family League's 2021 annual meeting and 30th anniversary celebration. Definitely want to say thank you to Mayor Brandon Scott. Thank you as well to Dr. Terris King, our presenting sponsor, PNC Bank. Once again, Damon Millard, thank you very much. And special congratulations to the 2021 Community Partnership Awardee, Dr. Kim Sydnor, Dean of the School of Community Health and Policy and Director of the Center for Urban Health Equity at Morgan State University. Shout out to all of the amazing partners who make all of this amazing work happen. And thank you to you for joining us today. Please learn more about Family League and all of the programs they have to offer by visiting their website at familyleague.org. Have yourself a great evening. God bless you. Good night.